It's Coily Convos. Time for Coily Convos with Ashlyn Coils. Okay, let's get into it. Hi Coilies, it's Ashlyn Coils and I am back with another video. It's actually going to be another episode in my Coily Convo series. And today I'm going to be talking about how to pick the best products to moisturize your hair. Hopefully you're intrigued right now. But in order to do that, I am not going to be talking about your curl pattern. Because guess what? I have a really unpopular opinion. I think that your hair porosity is way more important when trying to pick your products than your curl pattern. I want to say that again just in case you missed it. Your hair porosity is more important when you're picking out your hair products than your curl pattern. So whether you have type 2 curls or type 4 coils, this video is for you. So just keep watching. I'm going to talk about what exactly I mean when I say hair porosity. I'm going to let you guys know how you can determine your hair porosity. And finally, I'm going to be giving some quick tips at the end about how to choose products based on your hair porosity to hopefully help your curls flourish during these colder winter months. When I say hair porosity, I mean your hair's ability to absorb moisture. And interestingly enough, your hair's ability to absorb moisture is also related to your hair's ability to retain moisture. So, when you're looking at each individual strand of hair, there's actually a hair cuticle on the shaft. First, when I'm talking about high porosity hair, that means that your hair cuticles are more lifted. This could be your hair's natural state, or it could be related to any chemical damage, hair color, processing, or even harsh environments that you live in. When your hair cuticle is lifted just like this, your hair absorbs moisture really, really easily. You're putting in products, your hair feels moisturized and great, maybe wash day, maybe not so much the day after. You might start experiencing more frizz, your hair gets more tangled, and it feels dry really quickly, even though you just put so much on it during wash day. Then when I talk about that middle ground hair cuticle that looks like this, that is considered medium porosity hair. Your hair absorbs moisture, it kind of holds on to moisture. With medium porosity hair, you really should be thinking more about your hair density and your hair texture. Those are topics that I'll discuss in another video. Let's talk about low porosity hair. Like I said, those cuticles are lying more flat. So clearly, it's pretty hard for moisture to get in, but once it's in there, it is locked tight and you are good to go. So I am talking from experience because I have low porosity hair. But before I talk about how I pick my products and what I recommend for you guys, I am going to let you guys know how you can test your hair porosity. There are two different ways that I think are the easiest. The first one is called the float test. You need to do this on hair that has no product whatsoever. Just take out a little strand of your hair, put it into water, and then if it floats on top, you have low porosity hair. If it hangs out in the middle of that cup, then it is medium porosity hair. And if it sinks to the bottom, it's considered high porosity hair. The next way that I like to determine hair porosity, it may not be the most accurate, but in my experience, it does work really well, is just using a spray bottle. Again, on hair that has no product whatsoever and is completely clean. If you notice in my last video, I was really trying to saturate my hair before I put in the deep conditioner. But as I was spraying with the water bottle, you might have noticed that it almost looked gray on top of my hair. That was all the little water droplets sitting on top, waiting or struggling to be absorbed by the strands in my hair. That's a clear sign that I have low porosity hair because my hair is just like, nope. If you have high porosity hair, it's going to be the opposite. That water is going to be absorbed quickly. You might notice that your hair gets saturated really, really fast, especially when you're getting in the shower to shampoo your hair. You get in, you might wet your hair for a few seconds and you're good to go. For low porosity hair like mine, I need to wet my hair for at least 4 or 5 minutes directly underwater before it's completely saturated, and ain't nobody got time for that. So usually I just start shampooing before it's completely saturated, which could potentially dry out my hair more. But anywho, now that you know a little bit more about hair porosity, I'm going to tell you what you can look for on product labels or product descriptions to be able to figure out what's going to work best to moisturize your curly, coily, and kinky hair, and to keep it as moisturized as it can so it can grow and flourish and live its best curly hair life. So if you have high porosity hair, you really want to try to look for products that are going to seal in that moisture as best as it can. So you might want to layer on multiple products, or you want to use heavy creams or butters when you're styling your hair to really smooth on top of that hair cuticle and keep any of the moisture that you put in previously from escaping. But you might see the need to refresh your hair every single day, and that's totally fine because your hair can take it. I also recommend that you do protein treatments regularly. That seems to really help with high porosity hair. Now let's talk about low porosity hair. I made the mistake of buying a lot of heavier creams and butters early on in my curly hair journey because I thought since I had coarser, tighter curls, I would need those heavy products to make sure my hair was moisturized and easier to detangle and that kind of thing. I was completely wrong. It left my hair greasy and weighed down and wet. Yes, wet, because my hair couldn't absorb any of it and it just never dried. So since I have low porosity hair, I always try to look for products that are hair milks or that are lighter weight. So that's what I tend to use as my leave-in or what I use to prep my hair before I use my gel to do whatever style that I'll be doing. When I reach for gels, they're always lighter weight gels too. If you watch previous videos, you might notice that I keep a shower cap on my hair after I put in the leave-in conditioner to let it cook for a second. And that's just to give my hair more time to absorb that leave-in conditioner before I try to layer something on top. I have extremely low porosity hair, so I really do not refresh my hair at all during the week. If I refresh, it might just be a couple of strands. I add a little bit more gel and water and keep it moving. Because once I start refreshing once, twice, my hair is too weighed down and again, overwhelmed by product. It doesn't look the same, it doesn't have as much volume, and it feels quite disgusting. When it comes to protein, low porosity hair tends to be more protein sensitive. So I pick specific protein treatments to make sure that I maintain the protein moisture balance in my hair, but I don't want my hair to be too stiff and dry from those protein treatments. Whether you have loose waves or tight curls, make sure you figure out your hair porosity because that's what's going to help your hair thrive the best. And of course, always cherish your coils. I'll see you guys next time.